All right. So we are at the debt validation letter, right? As you can see, this letter can really be used to validate, to request validation for any debt. It can be anywhere from student loans, collections, child support, right? All right. Validation of debt request pursuant to 15 USC 1692G. So 15 USC 1692 is the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. Section G is where it speaks about validation of debt, right? So let's get into it. Be advised, this is not a refusal to pay, but a notice sent pursuant to Fair Debt Collection Practices Act 15 USC 1692G stating your claim is disputed and validation is requested. All right. This is not a request for verification. Now, there's a difference between validation and verification. We want validation of this debt or proof of my mailing address, but a request for validation made pursuant the above named title and section. I respectfully request your offices to provide me competent evidence that I have any legal obligation to pay you. So anybody from collections or whatever, student loans, sending you notices that you owe them, okay, provide me with the documentation or evidence that I have any legal obligation to pay you, because anybody can say you owe them, right? It's your duty to ask for the validation of the debt. And when you don't ask for validation of the debt, they can assume the debt is valid for you not responding, and then they can go ahead and do what they do, right? So at this time, I will also inform you that if your offices have reported invalidated information to any of the three major credit bureaus, as you can see here, this action may constitute fraud under both federal and state law. True, because before any information goes on your credit report, the information needs to be validated first, right? Due to this fact, in any negative mark is found on my consumer reports by your company or the company you represent, I will not hesitate in bringing legal action against and your client. This should be against you. Let's just put that in there, against you and your client for the following violation. Violation of the Fair Credit Reporting Act, because anything that goes on your credit report deals with the Fair Credit Reporting Act, and violation of the Fair Debt Collection Practice Act because they did not validate the debt as the law says, pursuant 15 USC 1692G. And then you go for defamation of character. There's so much you can go into, all right? But this isn't legal advice. You want to seek a competent FTC attorney and get that sorted out, all right? If your offices are able to provide the proper documentation as requested in the following declaration, I will require at least 30 days to investigate this information, during which time all collection activity shall cease and desist. So this is also a validation with a cease and desist built into it, all right? Also, during this validation period, if any action is taken which could be considered detrimental to any of my credit reports, meaning they put something on there and it causes, let's say, the rating to drop, the credit score to fall, that is also a violation. That is also something you can go after as well. I will consult with my legal counsel, which you should get yourself a FTC lawyer. They work based on results. So don't worry about paying them up front. They get paid when the results come in, all right? Counsel for suit. This includes any listing of information to a credit reporting repository or agent. Let's put agency, A-G-E-N-C-Y. Let's put agency, A-G-E-N-C-Y. Agency that could be inaccurate or invalidated, meaning so they didn't validate the information. No one did. They just threw it on your consumer report and there was no validation of this information done. If your office failed to respond to this validation request within 30 days from the date of your receipt, all references to this account must be deleted and completely removed from my credit file, and a copy of such deletion request shall be sent to me immediately. Now, the same, oh, I spelled agency wrong. Oh, let's see what's going on. There we go. The same way they can assume the debt is valid after 30 days when you don't respond, you can do the same thing. There's no law that says you cannot do this. So if they don't respond in 30 days with the information requested, you can assume now that the debt is invalid, right? So it's important that you understand that when you're sending letters to these student loan collection agencies or other agencies regarding the validation of a debt, it is sent via um, certified mail green return receipt, because the green return receipt has the date time group stamped on it or written on it when they receive the correspondence or the mail, and then you want to go 30 days from when they received it, and if they have not responded within that time, you can then invoke what you put in your letters and hold them to it. All right, sincerely your name, and then you can go on and say the following. So you can just use this part up here, or you could go further and add the following information. The following information is required. Please fill out the form below in its entirety, right? And because you want to know who they're collected from, who the name of the file or alleged debtor. Who is this alleged debtor? The alleged account number. Like you can see it, you go through it, and when they respond, you want to hold them to this paperwork, because now you are saying, listen, if you don't respond to all my requests, your claim is invalid. So you want to definitely invoke and enforce this portion. If you're going to use this portion in the letter, you definitely want to invoke and really hold them accountable for returning this information to you. If they don't return the information to you, you can use this now saying, boom, listen, y'all didn't respond and y'all didn't fill out what I asked for, and this invalidates your claim. You do not have no claim to collect this debt, or you did not provide legal, well, not legal, but you did not provide sufficient paperwork to say that I am obligated to pay you, basically. All right. So spend some time going through this. Also go through the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, and you will understand that this is not an overnight thing. It's really something for you to just learn and be good as you go. Iron sharpens iron. So the more you study, the better you're going to become. All right.